You're up at 4:30. People don't realise we get up at 4:30 in the morning on the day of the market.
I don't even know what a busy was until my kids start playing sports.
We had it on the Saturday. The whole of New Zealand went onto lockdown on the Monday.
I know, I remember. We got to Greymouth and I'd never been so happy to be anywhere in our lives. We want to do a little...
Don't they do a porridge there?
Yeah, won't be good, it'll be vegan. You're listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, Around the Dinner Table with Cherie, Cam and Lorne, where we chat all things food and business. Welcome back to Around the Dinner Table. Today you're here with the Slay group chat.
It's Slay with an E.
Slay group
I
chat.
do slay with an A.
So we have myself, Cherie from Pepper and Me, Cam from Cane and Abel,
Hi.
and Rachelle Duffy from Our Place / Little Big Markets / everything and anything.
Yes.
All events, anything that's happening around town. She's a happening gal around town.
Maybe, yeah. I find it
Yeah.
hard to explain what I do when people ask me because there's just so many facets to what I do.
Yeah.
Is there? Do you have like a description of yourself or like anything like that you blurt out?
No, I just usually say I dabble in events and I have a publication. That's generally how I explain myself.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Well, let's list it off though. When you say you dabble in events, what events are on your card?
Well, obviously we do the Little Big Markets.
Yep.
And that's kind of like our hero, sort of a constant event. And then we also, in the summertime, do Dinner in the Domain. And we do Dinner in the Park, which is in Matua. We also do our annual events like Vegan Vibes, Christmas in the Park. We also do Beasts of a Feast, which is a beer festival. So we kind of, do quite a few different things.
And then the publication?
And then we have Our Place magazine, which came out like 7 years ago now.
Oh my gosh.
I know, crazy.
It's gone quick.
I know. And so, keeps us real busy, pretty much.
So I've talked about Our Place on the podcast a bit because I've been telling everyone about my foodie finds article.
Yes.
So the latest one's just come out, and that's got my stories about Mount Sourdough and the Marahui Gin Distillery.
Yes.
And then next issue, we're going to do a scone review.
Scone review.
Scone Awards.
Yeah, man.
Grand Annual Scone Awards for the Bay of Plenty.
And when you say scone, I think it's, like savoury, cheese. What's the story there?
I've come up with a criteria. I reckon it's cheese plus a maximum of 2 extra things. So if it's like cheese, pepper and spring onion, or like cheese, jalapeno and feta, like that's fine.
Yeah.
But if it's like full savoury with tomatoes, onion, herbs,
That's like a pizza.
Do you think that's a good, or should it be cheese plus 1? If it's got cheese and one other thing in the title.
Yeah, cheese and
something.
Yeah.
So cheese and bacon or cheese and onion or cheese and ham. Yeah, okay. So cheese plus 1.
Yeah.
And then we've got to try and figure out the judging score, but I'm thinking size, the way it's toasted.
Yeah.
Taste, in particular, like the seasoning of it. Mm-hmm. So are they using tasty cheese? Is there salt and pepper in there? Is there like a little bit of paprika or cayenne? Yep. Is it soft and fluffy? I think my biggest thing with a scone is how much butter do they serve with the scone?
I'm a huge butter fan.
I feel like everyone is.
Yes. I hate it when you go to a place and you get a scone and they don't heat it enough and they
give you a slither
of butter.
Yeah.
And you're like...
Scraping it on it.
Yeah.
No,
in general, you need
I'm out. I'm never buying this again.
I agree. Yeah. Where's your favourite scone?
Well, I do like a sponge drop scone, cheese scone.
That's been quite clear.
To be honest with you.
Feedback coming in actually is that the sponge drop scone is elite.
I know, it is.
See, I'm wildflower, eh?
Actually, yes, wildflower's goodie too. Yep, they're both kind of close to where we are.
But again, like wildflowers is quite herb dominant. So maybe that's like why I like it. Like it's cheese scone, but it's very herby.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's good. And they heat well and they give you butter.
Yes, yep, heaps of butter.
Do they?
Yeah,
they might be front runners. Okay, cool. Well, so I need to start my testing. I was supposed to do it last weekend, but I didn't.
You'll get there.
I will get there this weekend. Okay, on the plate. What's been on our plate this week? What's been the best thing you've eaten or cooked in the last few weeks, Rachelle?
Well, you popped my hot pot cherry
I
other
did
day.
pop your hot pot cherry.
Yes.
Isn't it fun?
Oh, it's so fun. And I can't believe that we haven't done one before. Like, that's crazy.
Well, I haven't done one
Well, maybe
since-
you have, but maybe I just haven't really been around. But
Whitney's just obsessed with it.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I haven't done one for.
Yeah,
I didn't do any
I
last
know.
year. I completely forgot
That was
about
pretty
it.
cool because it's like, you're like serving yourself and you're doing a thing. It's very communal,
It's very communal.
and I love that about food.
Yes.
Like it's really cool to have a group of people around a table and you're eating together and,
Yeah.
shooting shit and stuff like that. which
Yeah,
is
and it's
cool.
very interactive, and you can you can make it like how you want to make it. So
Yeah.
you don't like spicy, so you have the non-spicy side.
Totally.
I had vegetarian the other night, so we just kept one bit of the broth vegetarian, and
Yeah.
she was having a field day with all the meats and veg and.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not meats, like all the veg and like
Yeah.
bits and bobs and tofu balls
Tofu
and
and stuff.
yeah, there's just all sorts. And how good's my garden? Vegetables?
I know. That was cool too. And like you can just put whatever you want in it, I think. Like you say, like I'm one of those friends that one day I will get to the heat island.
I don't think you'll ever make it to that one. Even I was like that. That's
Yeah, you were a bit
hot.
like
That
woo-hoo-hoo.
Szechuan broth is freaking hot.
Yeah.
That's like one of the spiciest
Yeah.
things I'll have.
What's been on my plate? Last week we did the Burger event with both of you. Actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cheries, the Cheries event.
Yeah.
And I thought the croquettes,
pulled
that.
beef cheek croquettes.
Yeah, they were-
Moroccan
That
duck
was good.
crumb.
sensational.
Very, very good.
Yeah. That was a really cool collab. I think it's great.
I think so too.
Perfect.
Collabs like that are so fun.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling to balance my life like that at the moment because it does take up a few days out of your week, and I'm coming to work at 9:15 and then leaving at 2:15. The day is just
Goes.
literally not long enough. And then if I lose a few days a week doing that, I'm working 15 hours a week.
Yeah, I know.
For Pepper and me, I guess, doing my normal job, which is a 40-hour-a-week job. So I'm just like constantly chasing my tail.
How much longer is that promo on for?
It's finished.
Is it done?
It's finished, but we've got something else coming back with them very soon. So we're
Oh,
going to do
cool.
another burger and another side, and amazing as well. So
That's
we'll
awesome.
continue to work with Burger, yeah, as much as we can.
Yeah, because I think too, like it would be really good to have a bit of a lead-in time because then by the time people kind of get their head around it and stuff like that, if it goes too soon, people don't get a chance to,
I thought so too. It actually went too quick.
It went too quick.
Way too quick.
Because I was telling people about it as well, and then it's like, by the time they get their shit together and get there, they're like, oh, it's finished.
I
like,
know,
think
and
a
it's
good
in the
lead-in
mag,
time
and
is
now
good.
it's like thin.
Yeah.
I know. I'm hoping they've got extra product to use. They can just bring it back. But I think they
Yeah.
plan a new specials, which I guess you want something fresh every few weeks, right?
Totally.
So
Yeah.
You'd think that the pre-hype though would be longer.
Yeah.
It's like this will be here, this date to this date, versus like it's here now.
Hurry up.
Yeah, because it's not like everyone.
Yeah.
I guess I'm probably biased. Like I'm not all going out for takeaways every week. So like if I knew that was coming, I'd be like, oh cool.
You'd plan for it.
Plan for
Pencil it in.
You know?
yeah.
But actually, that's why the event was really good too,
a great event.
because at least you got like a good amount of people in the room trying it, and that's kind of is a good sort of lead on from the hype as well. I think But I
Yeah.
think collabs are great. That's what our whole business is brought up on.
Yeah,
is collaboration.
It's pretty cool. Like, it's sometimes the tricky thing with collabs is figuring out how to make money because you often neither of you will make money.
Yeah.
You usually cover costs.
like a marketing
which is
thing.
great. It is a marketing thing, and then I guess like a lot of stuff we do, food shows,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. You aim just to sort of cover costs.
Yeah.
But then you're like, right, I need to put some focus into actually selling some stuff and making some money.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes hard with a collab because you've got everyone putting in a lot of effort, two businesses putting in a lot of effort, and then
Yeah.
trying to keep it as cheap as possible.
Though, too. Like, for example, like you can do a collab with someone and then realize, hey, look, the brands work really well together, so maybe we could look at doing XYZ for the next one, so that you are sort of forever propelling what you've originally done. Like, for Burger, for example, you could potentially talk to them about how you can have a stand in there permanently that maybe people can buy their products or bits and
Yeah, you're
pieces and
right. It is stuff
that.
like that, or doing a burger mayo or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to events as well, which is your specialty, and making money from events.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
I'm just rolling in it.
I mean, is it possible to make money from events? That's
Well,
something
the thing is, it depends. Like, look, if it was really easy, everybody would be doing it. And it's exactly the same with you. I think people sometimes see the perception that it's like, oh, look at Cherie, she's just doing all of this stuff and, like going off and, tra-la-la and how to, and they all think it looks easy. But we all know, it's like when you run your own business, you're working 24/7, and it's the same with an events, like you're up at 4:30. People don't realise we get up at 4:30 in the morning on the day of the markets, and I'm putting all those little tail signs out, and it's all those little things, and we're there till like sort of 4:30 in the afternoon packing it all down. But when you're a customer, people just turn up and go, oh my, this is amazing, and you're like, yeah, I've just been here since 4:30. But I think it's the long termness of it, like that's why I think we've had to evolve and we've had to like do more than just one event. That's why you'll see that we've got dinner in the Domain, we've got dinner in the park, we've got Christmas in the park, all these different events, because if we were just solely relying on the one event, it just wouldn't be enough to, retain what we need to do.
This is kind of the same concept. Like if you looked at Pepper and Me, and if you just had, say, one product, it's
Totally.
creating new stuff. That
You have to be coming from all angles for sure.
Yeah, and it just, I guess it creates something to talk about as well, eh?
Yeah, and you know what? Like we've been doing the little markets. It's going to make me sound really old, but 16 years.
Wow.
It's been 16 years.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And so when we first started the markets, it was just me. And it's so funny because I always talk to our staff about, I'm like, storeholders had to apply by writing what they did and send it to me via post.
Wow.
And I would get to my mailbox and I'd open up the application and then I would send them a message back. Like, it was just like crazy.
That is
and
crazy.
it's hard to think. But like what I'm saying is that like we've been through it all, so it's kind of like, I think that's why back then when we first started 17 years ago, we weren't really any other markets doing what we were doing. It was like the Tauranga Farmers Market. I mean, that's just like the only thing that was happening at the time. And that's the only reason why we started it, was because I was like, been living overseas, and that's what we would do on the weekends, is go to the local French market or whatever, and there'd be like a lady selling some silk pajamas or whatever, like some artisan thing, and then there'll be someone, like selling food products, and it was like, oh, this is what we kind of did. And then coming back here, I was like, the Mount's really humming, it's really kind of going somewhere, but no one's really doing any markets, other than sort of produce farmers markets,
Yeah.
So I think we've evolved a lot since then, and now there's like markets it's just on trend now, so it'll probably be the same when you first started. Now, like, how many bloody spice companies are there, like it's the same type of thing.
That is right, that is exactly right.
Like, so you have to learn to evolve with the times and keep yourself fresh and updated.
Yeah, and everyone loves the markets. It's such a staple of the Mount now, eh?
Yeah, it is. It is. Like, my kids are carny kids. I've had 2 kids in that time.
No.
Like,
And now we've got Lemonade. He's got his own
lemonade stand. Like, so it's definitely embedded the community in terms of what the Mount is, like we're not the stuffy city. We are quite cruisy, coastal sort of people, and that's kind of what the markets are about. And I mean, I've met some amazing people through there. Like, I've met you through there. A lot of my friends I've met through there, and like just all the connections that we've made has all been through that type of way.
Yeah, you meet
really cool.
you meet the coolest and most interesting people, don't you? Everyone's trying to start small business, or foodies, or entrepreneurs, or all sorts.
I mean, you think about like, like Johnny's dumplings, the Hannah's from Real Rag, Danny from Sponge Drop. Like, they've all started at the markets, and now I kind of watch them, from little chickens, and they leave the coop and then they kind of go off, which is really cool.
What are the coolest food trucks at the moment? What's happening in the food truck scene?
There's so many different food scenes that we've actually got. Asian cuisine is making a really sort of high sort of comeback. Well, it's not even a comeback. It's kind of like there are so many really cool, like there's one called Hambao. They're really awesome. And, like it's just this beautiful little Asian lady who cannot speak hardly any English, but she makes the best food. It's so good. Does little dumplings. And I don't know, because I don't know what they call them, but like the Asian pancakes. I don't know, like the
Korean pancakes.
Yeah, Korean. That's it. Sorry, Korean pancakes. She makes those.
Oh,
like,
cool.
They're pretty awesome.
What's your food truck called?
Hambao.
Hambao.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And look, I mean, I always love like going and getting the French grapes. Like, I know that they're always there, but you're always going to get a good good.
Crepe. I love the ham and cheese crepe. Yeah,
good.
that's the best crepe. Eh? Covered in
So
fish
good.
oil.
Yeah. Smashed strawbs. I mean, shit, they've just come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
You know, like, and
strawberries
like,
with
she just hit
coated
it
in
hard,
chocolate. Eh?
and you know, like, and obviously, because I did say to her, so what are you going to do when strawberry season's done? Like, what do you do then? And but she's just evolved and done like waffles and bits and pieces in between that. But her main, obviously, thing will be strawberries. In the summertime.
Yeah, it's quite clever, eh?
Clever.
I love people like so obviously watch all the Camden markets, and then you see them starting to pop up here. And I've got this obsession with the humble crumble. I could watch the humble crumble videos all day with the fruit compotes.
What's humble crumble?
It's like the porridges that I love, but it's crumble. So you could choose your crumble based on maybe like apple rhubarb, peach and pear, something else. So you pick and then you choose if you want custard, and then you get like a big thing of like hot custard, and then what crumble you want. So there might be like a short big crumble or a coconut and almond crumble, whatever, on top. And then they even have like custard flavored ice cream or whipped cream or like caramels or like and they can get creme brulee crumble, and they put the custard on and they blowtorch it.
But this is such a Cherie thing, because it's like you're always like, yeah, no one's doing this. It's like you've just named about 50,000 different things on a menu.
No, but it's one thing. It's a crumble. So you'd have like your 3 pots with your
multiple directions.
with your But what you do, I reckon, porridge in the morning, crumble at night.
Yeah, right.
And the winter, you're on for the winter.
So where is this place?
Camden
No,
Markets.
it's.
No, it's in Camden Markets in London, yeah.
In London.
And then but they also do
Are you talking about the posh porridge?
Porridge, the loaded porridges, I'm pretty sure came from there.
Yeah, because they developed it so they could be in the takeaway thing too, eh?
Yeah. And I saw one in Maid when I was there the other day, Oat Bros.
All right.
He just makes his oats with just water and a bit of salt, and then he's got a small bowl in it. I reckon it fell over because you need a bigger space to put the toppings on.
Yeah, right.
But he had a couple of flavours, nice banoffee, and
There's so many things though. There's like you said, and how things have evolved too is through social media, TikTok, all of that stuff. So like you're all seeing it, they're all going off, and then they're like, no one's doing it here. So
Yeah, Melbourne's another good scene for that.
totally.
yeah, it is actually. They keep up with most things.
Yeah.
The other one that I love is the giant Yorkshire pudding.
I was just about to say
the
that.
full roast dinner, and then they wrap it up into like a burrito.
And honestly, and it's like a full roast. We've I've said that to so many people and just gone. I mean, like it's crazy.
Yeah,
but
and the
it would be
strawberry started.
dreamy.
The strawberry started.
Yeah.
Yeah, strawberries
Yeah.
and the chocolate. Yeah.
And they're just, it's really cool seeing people evolve into what's, working and what's not. I mean, what I love the most too is that like you could come to the markets and you can try lots of different things as well. And you get to generally buy from the person that's standing in front of you that's taking your money, that is the owner operator. And so you then feel like, okay, I'm intentionally buying off you because I want to support you, or I want to support a small business, or it's quite a nice exchange.
Any of your other events that aren't the Little Big Markets, are they all just food dominant? Is there any like that?
As in, like, all of the events that we do are food orientated.
Like, do you have one specific one that's just food orientated?
Well, that's Dinner in the Domain.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so that's just all food trucks. That's in Paps, and that. I'm super stoked about that one because that's been going for a really long time now too. I don't know how many years, but for a really, we used to be under the trees. That's why it's called the Domain. Dinner in the Domain. Shouldn't really be called that anymore, but it's just, it is. Yeah. So, and then we had to move because council was developing that area. So that's how we got moved to the Pony Club. But it's great. It's a good vibe too. People go down there, they eat. I mean, half the time in the peak of summertime, they're coming off the beach and they're just like walking straight on there and they're getting something to eat. It's really cool.
Very cool.
So food is definitely a gatherer of people, right?
Yeah, definitely.
100%, yeah.
And that's kind of what works. And, if you do an event, that's kind of what, makes it. It's like, and I think that's over the years we've refined things, we've done things, some things have worked, some things haven't, but we've always gone back to like, okay, people gather, they eat, they congregate, they want to hang out, and then they do other things. So it's usually that most of our events will always consist of having food and beverage of some sort. So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And I like the community, and everyone seems to support each other, and all the foodies seem to get along, and they kind of all sort of help each other of like, oh, you know, this is maybe some of them buy together and kind of have buying power and stuff like that. So I guess they all kind of support each other in that sense, which is cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I want to try the Kaimoana truck.
I know.
Yeah, I haven't seen him lately, but I missed loads of dinner.
Nah.
It's a perfect place to take the kids for dinner.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
so easy.
So it just ticks all the boxes for so many different types of people. Because some people might want to just go and have a beer and something light, or some people might want to go and take the kids and just let them run around, you know. So it does tick loads of different boxes for the community.
What events did you want to do next? What's like something that you
I don't know.
what's on your bucket list of events?
Look, everyone always talks to me about doing the dinner on Blanc again. Like we started
Yeah,
that.
we
and,
always talk about
you know,
that.
like we
That
always
was
talk
so
about
fun.
that. And, you know, I did it for years with Kim and we loved it so much. But actually, what really stopped it was because COVID, it was this thing that was like this, like, you know, everyone was talking about it. And we're like, what's going on with this whole COVID thing? And the last dinner on Blanc was in Papamoa on the sort of the beach, well, not right on the beach, but on the beachfront, and by the Papamoa Pony Club. And we had it on the Saturday. The whole of New Zealand went onto lockdown on the Monday.
I know, I remember, because we were
was
all excited
crazy.
about going. We were flying to America that Monday,
Yeah.
and we all had all the girls down for the dinner on Blanc. We all went out, all like,
Yeah.
it was all kind of like a lull back then.
Yeah. And then it sort of,
just
yeah.
boom within days.
And people were saying, are you still going to do it? And I'm like, we were all just a bit like, well, I don't really know. No one's like, I don't really know what this whole COVID thing is, because everybody was just talking about it, but we didn't really know what was going to happen. And then the government just went slam. But they, you know, we didn't know about it until I think it was like either Saturday night when the event was in full hum or the Sunday morning that it was like, we are going to be going into lockdown at, you know, 12 p.m. on Monday. Get yourself prepared. And everyone was running out and getting freaking toilet paper, you know.
Yeah.
And we had
The
pallets
beginning
and
of the
pallets of
end.
wine left over from dinner on Blanc. I said, well, we're going to be fine, I think. But yeah, so I think that's definitely, like, I like that style of event where you've got this big build up and it's like quite charming and it's, you know, like sort of semi-theatrical. But in saying that, like, I don't know, I do enjoy just supporting what's happening out there too. Like, you know, Rosie's from, you know, Rose's Dining Table
Yeah.
and Madeline doing her, you know, Sunday suppers and things like that. Like, it also is quite nice to come in from a supporting role, you know,
Yeah.
and sort of putting my sort of flair on or helping supporting
with
you
other
know,
people
with
and their stuff. Yeah.
I think
What
that's
is that?
kind of,
Good idea.
So from your perspective, what does that look like? Like, how are you involved?
well, I mean, like, I kind of can come in and just be like event manage things, you know, so that's definitely sort of over the years of doing events, I can kind of help in the area where people have these great ideas, but they don't really know how to actually sort of put it into fruition.
Structure it.
And structure it, whereas like that's kind of over the years that's just what I've done, you know, like obviously I did events before running the markets, but so I've kind of had sort of, you know, years of experience in doing it, but it's actually what is quite overwhelming for people. Like, they have all these great ideas, but they can't structure into, so how are we going to execute this? I'm like, oh, it's just really easy. You just do X.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my brain will
You're
just
so
know how
good
to
at
slot
that.
it into it, you know?
You're so good at that.
Yeah.
You're always coming to me with the ideas, and I'm like, I can't do it.
I'm like, it'll be so easy. You just do this and this and this. And you're like, oh my God.
I'm like, oh, that's just.
I've got to make some mayo.
Yeah, I can't.
No, but like, I think that's definitely, you know, everything evolves all the time. Like, I'm not down at the markets every Saturday. I mean, I am every now and again when, you know, we've got sort of a team that look after that now. And in the wintertime, I think you'll see me there more. But in the summertime, like, we've got a whole team that looks after that, which I really like to step back. You know, that whole sort of like working
bit more
on the
coordination.
business, not in the business type scenario. And then that really leads me into being able to do like my passion projects, which is like, you know, helping Cherie if she wants to do a dinner, or, you know, like sort of obviously my main thing at the moment is the magazine, and, you know, like I can go on tour with musicians.
So you just recently went away with Sweet Mix. 'cause,
Yeah. So I can sort of do some passion projects, which I think I've kind of earned my stripes to do now, you know, like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like, there are still days where I'm at the markets, you'll see me putting up gazebos, and that's not beneath me. It's just more that it's like, it's quite nice to have a team that can do that, and I can go, cool, I can put my efforts into this over here and achieve more than me just still putting up gazebos, you know, like, not that that's a bad job to do. It's just that I can see more of other things that I can do, you
Moving
know.
on to something else.
I think if I didn't have Pepper and Me, I'd do it all the time. I think I don't. I have to like keep a lid on it because I know one, it doesn't make much money.
Yeah.
And then if any, and then two, like it kind of it puts the whole team under quite a lot of pressure for like a week.
Yeah.
And then like the prep and babysitters and then you go and do it and you have a great time and everyone loves it and you make amazing food and you have a blast and then you're like, cool, like how does that, you know, great marketing, but I've not made any money. So I've just got to like put a limit on how much I do that.
Totally.
But I do love it. Like I absolutely love it.
I know,
There
and
must be a way to make it
to it. You know what I mean?
profitable.
Like, yeah, totally.
No, well, that's why I want to do it at my house because I do like a run through my head. Like the event that I did at the surf club last year, we paid $3,000 to hire the surf club, and we paid $3,000 to hire the table linen, like all the and the crockery and all that, and she took it away and sort of washed it, sort of thing. So there's $6,000, and then we've got my staff, and then your food cost sits at about 30%. Mine's probably on the higher side of that because I want people to have an absolutely
food.
like it's always going to be my priority to make sure that people have the best food experience on the day. So when you put that in, and then staff, like. You're done. You've got no show.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of where people need to understand the power of your brand and the power of collaborations and sponsorships. And that's kind of another thing that is like a whole nother podcast. But
that's what you're good at, right?
Yeah.
Being like, hey.
Yeah, your brand is actually like this. You need to propel it this way. So you partner with this people because that's what's going to give you the most for them and the most for you and bring your cost down so that there is a better profit margin.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, like people, I mean, you know, like people ask you to promote stuff all the time. So you know that the power that you've got, your social media and all those types of things. And it's very hard to sometimes sort of, I guess, ask for things in your position if you feel like, oh no, but you know, I don't want to. But that's where you could be doing that on different projects and know that you can get more out of it.
Yeah, I could be
and
saying,
that brand
hey,
would love to be part of it. So
I
you look at your
know.
food cost and you go, okay, this is what my menu looks like. Who can I partner with XYZ to make sure that your costings are going down? And they would be like stoked to be part of it. You know.
Are you envisioning like a next job, are you?
Okay, so what I want to do, I've talked about this.
We're actually going to launch now.
I talked about it before on the podcast, and I really just want to set up a little pop-up restaurant at home.
No.
And then hire the tableware, and you'd eventually, I guess, build up a collection so that you wouldn't have to hire the.
Yeah. Well, that's
crockery
exactly
and
what we
stuff.
did. Like the reason why we have a warehouse, albeit, it's
Store your
because
stuff.
over the years, once we started getting bigger as well and we did more, like we are a little bit of a traveling circus because of the fact that we knew what was our biggest overheads, hiring power, like all of that stuff cost hiring a generator is like $1,000 a pop, right? That's not even including your oil, your gas. And if I'm doing to fuel it, and then if we're doing dinner in the domain once a week, so that's just one cost, So over the years, we were like, okay, well, we need to buy our own generator, we need to buy our own Octavia tables, we need to buy our own marquees, we need to buy it. So we have our own infrastructure, and it took us time to get that. And you'll find that even here with Pepper and Me, it's like you're like, oh, I've got to invest in infrastructure.
That's
I guess
true.
it turns your variable costs into fixed costs, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then it means that at least when we're doing an event, we've got this one infrastructure that can go to all of these different events and then we don't have to outsource.
True.
So there are...
Scale it, outgrow it, yeah.
Yeah, so there's definitely sort of, that didn't happen overnight, and would be the same with you. But that's kind of same, but different.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
true.
I mean?
You're right. You are right, yeah.
So... And then it's easy for us to collaborate with people because we are a travelling circus. Because, for example, we do the gigs at Wharapai Domain, or they're like, Alex from Rhythm and Outs will be like, hey, we want you to do the food for XYZ. And they know that we just turn up and they don't even have to do anything. We just turn up, power's laid out, food are in, tables are out, lights on, boom.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, you've just saved us time, energy, all of that stuff.
True.
So, yeah, it's not just the events that we do, it's the other side of that
The
stuff
organisation.
too
Yeah.
that people just can't get their head around, you know?
Whole of the world, isn't it?
Even me and my flatmate talked about doing a little 2-course wine pairing
Yeah.
together with you'd invite 4 people.
Hmm.
You wouldn't make any money on it, but it'd be pretty cool little
Yeah.
way to entertain.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love it. It is exciting. And there's so many moving parts that all come together to make a good event.
Yeah, and
So
I think
many
it's
things.
it's like I said before, it's an addiction, you know,
Yeah.
like because this rush of like, you know, seeing it on a map and us just talking about it as a team. Oh, look, this is not just me, it's me and my team, you know, and I've got a great team, and so we all kind of talk about things, and then we kind of, you know, have a plan around how we're going to execute, and then when you execute it and you see all these happy people and everyone's real stoked, and then you're like, oh, that's so awesome, and then, you know, and it's like, when's the next one? And I'm just like, oh, you know, like, so you do definitely get addicted to it, you know.
Has it working with that team, being able to take, I guess, the load of the markets off your plate, and then now steering it towards the magazine?
Yeah.
Is the magazine becoming your main passion?
You know, it is, but the magazine is kind of, you know, like a reflection of the markets at the same time. Like it kind of, it's same, but different in the sense like we met all these amazing people at the markets and there was no storytelling of these people.
Yeah.
And so that's a natural progression to go into a publication. Also, I'd like to say that it's also because Chris, obviously my husband, and I work together.
Yes,
and
yeah.
he's a graphic designer and illustrator. And so he wanted to kind of do something other than event side of things too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of made sense for us to do that. And then, you know, like I'm kind of sales and marketing, so I could do that side of things. He could design it. So again, sort of there's a massive cost to putting it out, but in terms of us being able to do it internally ourselves means we didn't have to outsource either.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then the stories that we would find out from people from the markets and just all the collaborations we've done made sense to then put it into the publication as well. So it's definitely where our passion is at the moment.
So for 16 years, you two have been working together?
Yeah.
How's that been?
Oh, I actually love it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't think it's for everybody. But I think it's just because Chris and I are complete polar opposites. Like,
Yeah, okay.
you know, he's quite quiet. He kind of just absorbs and is just quite cruisy. I'm loud and got to talk all the time and be involved. And so, you know, it works quite well together. And it just means, like, weirdly enough, we spend heaps of time together at work, but then it means when we get home, we don't have to actually even talk about work because I don't have to ask him about how his day was or vice versa and sit there for 3 hours and complain about something or be excited about something because he's kind of just been with me throughout the day to see it anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's really good. And we've got 2 kids, and it means that we can plan our lives at home around our work and not have to feel like we're really restricted with, I have to work a 9 to 5 and I'm working for somebody else. And, you know, like.
Yeah, yeah.
Brings a great flexibility, eh? That's the biggest benefit for me too. Like,
Yeah.
got a lot on, but I can control it
100%.
when I do my lot on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't control my children's sports though. Oh my gosh. I just say, everyone always says to me, I'm sorry, I've got a real bee in my bonnet about this at the moment.
Yeah.
Everyone's been saying to me for the last 5 years, like, you must be so busy. Like, I don't even know what busy was until my kids start playing sports.
Swimming on a Friday night.
Absolutely. They're not even athletes. Like, all Kit does is pole dance on the freaking goal. I said, did you enjoy that Snapchat, Cam?
Yeah, I did. I love that.
He's having the absolute time of his life.
Player of the day,
He was player of the day. He had the most enthusiasm. So, 2
Well,
swimming
you just
lessons.
wait.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
going to get, you know, as they get older, they need you more. They do.
Yeah.
Well, you're just a full-time Uber driver.
I am a full-time Uber driver. And do you know what I
Yeah.
used to do when I was a teenager? I used to row
Yeah.
5 mornings a week at
Wow.
5 a.m. And my poor mum had to do all the carting. Like, why did she do that?
I've had some reflection on this really recently. I used to get driven up from Whakatane to Auckland and Rotorua and Hamilton 4 out of 7 days a week.
That is,
That is
wild,
wild,
Yeah.
Cam.
And did we appreciate it? Absolutely
No.
not. Like, I would have whinged in bed for 10 minutes
Same.
every morning. I would have
Yeah.
been like, I don't want to go going.
I know when I look back at it.
My iPhone was my iPod was out of battery.
I know. Take a moment to thank the parents for doing
thank
that
the
running.
parents.
I'll tell you what, I would not do that for my children. They want to row?
Yeah.
You be funny your
You
own
say
ride.
that now, but I guarantee you
Rachelle,
will be in that car.
I literally won't.
Not for me.
Not for me. I'm sorry.
So
you an
Kit's
Choose games,
Olympic sport career is done.
Well,
In the rowing
yes.
industry,
In the
maybe.
rowing.
Yeah. Like, actually, so we've got football trainings 2 a week, swimming lessons 2 a week, games 2 a week, and then I've got 3 birthday parties for kids this week. I'll tell you what, I was like, oh, thank God I'm divorced, because imagine having to do it every week. At least I get a 5-day break.
Yeah, that's me.
This is the first time I've ever heard that.
Actually, I say that all the time because everyone's always like, let's do this. I'm like, Cherie, you've got a week off. I'm still in it. I'm 24.
I know, but when I do have it, obviously I don't have any help with
Exactly.
it. So I'm the full-time Uber driver.
yeah,
Whereas like if it was 2 parents, you could be like, right, you
do
So
X.
I don't know if the soccer games are at the same time in different places. Like, how am I supposed to be 2 places at once?
Tag team, mate.
I know. I've made trying to make some friends. You got to really have to be.
Yeah.
I have to,
No, it's a good way.
Yeah.
So that you can carpool.
Yeah,
you know, like
being
or
on the
just
chats
like
with the soccer dads.
You're going to have to go talk to people.
I
in
do.
swimming.
I
Give
do.
them some pepper and me.
Bring some products.
For someone who's not like, I am a very social person, but I'm also like, I don't know. I just
Well, I
sometimes
guess it
I'm like,
depends.
oh,
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I need social all the time, but sometimes I know when it's
like on the cold winter's night at the football field, like you will find me sitting in my car.
editing some
Literally, I'm
social.
working. I'm trying to catch
Yeah,
up on the work
totally.
I've not done in
I
my
get it.
15 hours at work. But last week I got out, I chatted with 3 to 4 dads, kicked a ball around for an hour, did some running, got in there.
Oh, good for you.
I know, it's not for me.
Parents not like coordinating birthday parties. Like, how does that work?
I don't know. I feel a bit out of the loop because I'm not really like
Talking to
in
people?
any school circles. No, but the thing is because I live across the other side of town now. So for me, if they like want to play date or whatever, I have to like
tricky.
drive back here, which is half an hour, and then back home, which is another half an hour, and then back to do a pickup, and it's another hour. So it's kind of 2 hours out of my day. So it just gets a bit. It's not good admin. But then obviously I've got my friends over there, and they're all their kids,
And they've got
the kids.
kids,
Just
so it's not like they don't have
just take themselves off
stimulation.
to each other's houses and have the scooters and bikes. So they still have that.
Yeah.
Just not with the school or sports kind of
Peeps.
peeps. So it's a different. But different,
Yeah.
But that's my choice. I have to live with that. Irrelevant conversation, eh? I just like just saying. I'm like, wow.
I feel like
really
Cherie
found
just
myself
needed to have a little bit of a rant about the school sports
Yeah, though.
situation.
overwhelmed by it all. I'm like, how do people do this?
I have a whiteboard. I've started one because there's just so much.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to tell you about it because it's boring, but it's like there's just so much going on with the kids. And the older they get, the more that they need from you. So I guess that's why, and school holidays, like, oh my God. And so like, the only reason why I'm talking about this is because I was just talking about it today because I'm planning our school holidays and the staff were like, didn't you just have school holidays? I'm like, I know, I feel like, when are they not on holiday?
I
and
know.
so if I was in a 9 to 5 job working for somebody else, I don't know, I would find it extremely hard to work that in. Or if I, you would just feel like you will constantly using your holiday up, before you want to.
Yeah.
Or if you're in a critical role and you couldn't work from home or whatever, you're kind of screwed. So I must admit that's one thing, going back to Chris and I working together, is the fact that like I do enjoy us working together so we can tag team and we don't have to kind of answer to anybody else.
Yeah, I guess that's the perk out of being the boss as well.
Yeah. But
I live a very selfish lifestyle.
Well, it's not selfish. It's not
just-
selfish. It's just.
that's where you're at. You're
you'll
stage
get there,
You're
and-
in the stage of being able to do that
Yeah.
and live it up, because
You can see why
that's-
people don't have kids, I guess. So, certainly wasn't what I was thinking about when I chose to have a kid. Babies are easier. Babies are so much easier.
Yeah.
Like the discos, school disco today. Oh my gosh, the drama over the disco.
During the day.
Well, Kit's is during the day, luckily. Pepper's is tonight.
Because the younger ones go sort of early and the older
And
ones
the theme is circus. And there's been so many tears about, like, that's not a good enough circus costume. And I'm like, I don't even know what a circus costume is. Like, do you want to go as a lion? Absolutely not. I want an acrobat. costume. Oh, sorry, I'll just pull one of those from thin air. What do you mean?
Acrobat.
So I said togs, obviously. I glued a star to it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious me, that was not going down well.
And the schools usually just pin it on you at the last minute.
I
It's always
know.
like, school disco tomorrow.
Well, it's probably because
And
I
you're
didn't
like,
read the app. There was probably 1 week ago, and I was like, oh, she'll be right. It's just a disco.
Schools have apps now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, whoa.
And they pop off. Like, honestly,
It's a constant.
people are like, oh, you missed my notification. I'm like, oh, what one of my 17 platforms I'm supposed to be monitoring right now?
Yeah. What are the teachers doing?
Get some marketing going on.
Honestly. Yeah.
Let's run some ads. Yeah.
It's honestly, I'm the same. I miss all the important stuff because I'm just bogged down with all the like lost croc. Has anyone seen it? Like, what? It's like lost property constantly.
Looking
circling
to
around.
buy
It's just
size
like,
9
oh
to
my
12
God.
jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, it is a lot.
So you two together working with the magazine, is that what's on next for
Oh, well, the scone
The scone,
Scone,
is
yeah.
coming up.
and
So,
anything else?
I thought I might try and track down the new Soul Bowl
oh
and
yes,
see what's happening there.
yes.
But I really want to make a I really just want to do a little.
Don't they do a porridge there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
won't be good. It'll be vegan.
Might be coconut.
Yeah.
I'll go and have a look. I'll try it.
I don't know. And maybe they might have a different menu now that they've moved into a bigger site, and they might change a few
doing-
things
they're
up.
doing more
Yeah,
food,
because they
yeah.
probably will. Because that's where they were. It was probably a smaller offering
Yeah.
that they could only do so much. Whereas now,
So
in the
they're
new
down
place,
by Sea People, eh?
where the sea people used to be in the
Okay.
mount, and sea people have moved into
Yeah.
them on the main drag.
It's on my list to hit up
Yeah.
because they could do with some
Yeah.
love, I'd say.
Yeah.
See what they are down there.
I had a chat to them the other day, and they said that it's changed quite a lot. Like they're getting a lot more families coming in.
Yeah.
because there's actually
Oh, good.
seating.
Room
Yes,
for
perfect.
prams.
Yeah, and like
Nice.
they're doing the food is just so much more comfortable because they've got a kitchen. Versus
Totally.
Before they were just stuffed.
They'd have to just
covered.
prep everything, or just it's just limited basically to what they could do. But yeah. So the magazine was cool. So this will be Cherie's 3rd issue with us.
It's gonna be the
Nah,
third, eh?
the next one.
Yeah.
So that'll be August, September.
I'm open to suggestions, but I really I want to go rogue, do
Yeah.
some like rogue things, something
Yeah.
that gets people's attention.
Yeah, totally.
What's do you have any ideas on that?
Well, it'll just come. We'll just go with the flight.
It just comes to me, yeah.
It's the
I
best
don't,
food to take into the bedroom.
Yeah.
oh, speaking of GGO, mystery boxes.
Oh,
GGO, Girls Get Off, launched their mystery box last night.
What for a toy?
it's good.
Sold out in an hour. I've been telling
Wow.
Viv, she's like, what works? Sorry, one thing that never fails to work for us, a mystery box. And now they've obviously got enough like add-ons to their toys. So
Yeah,
they've got
so
what,
they
4
can-
toys,
yeah,
they've got
exactly.
wipes and lube and all sorts of that they can do mystery boxes with them. Sold out in an hour.
That is so
Absolutely
cool.
blew them away, yeah.
So cool.
I know. I reckon that's cool too. It
Yeah.
just goes to show, there's just something about bringing a bit of surprise to an adult life
Yeah.
that, like, it's like dinner on block, like mystery location,
Totally.
secret thing,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff just plays into give an adult a bit of excitement.
Totally. And Stacey from Kitchen Takeover, she was one of our table leaders at Dinner en Blanc, and she was like, "Oh my God, she knew the vibe about people just wanted to be kept in suspense, about where they were
Yes.
going and what they were doing and the whole journey, And obviously that, is something that Kitchen Takeover did as well, and went into this
Mystery
whole
location.
Mystery location.
You have
did
to.
it
You
around
have to. The
theme.
thing about that though is you have to impress.
Yeah, and you have
Because
to invest,
do.
because you do have to impress with food and decor and.
You
all
don't
of
want
the
people to
things.
let down, eh?
Nah.
Where was the last kitchen table? We went to the rugby club and like.
Oh, that's right.
Remember we rocked up and like. The rugby club, but then obviously you walk
But what
inside
was
and
it?
it,
That was
it was
Christmas.
completely transformed into France, I think, and it was incredible. Like it was they'd completely transformed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite funny. Were you there?
No.
No.
I know, I couldn't
You
go
were
for some
away.
reason. Yeah.
Ah.
Speaking of suspense, we've all fell victim to that, Going off to Sweet Mix Kids.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep, that
Our
was-
little
yep.
duo tour. The three of us. And
we
our...
ended up being in
Greymouth the first time.
Greymouth at the Spates. People love the province.
So we went on a Sweet Mix Kids album release tour, and all we got told was to show up at the airport
Yeah.
at Auckland at 9 a.m. and we'll be back, Sunday night?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That was a long few days,
long
That
few days.
first trip.
Well, we
Yeah.
thought-
Oh, we went out the night before, eh?
Well, we did go out the night before.
Yes, we did go out.
And we had
And
two
then
course
we
we
had to
went out
get
the night
up. Yeah, we
before.
had to get up. And we had to get up at 7 and be at the airport. And we're at the airport. We're like, we don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're doing. And everyone was like, are you guys all right? We're like, we just don't really know anything. And I also think that, we're all kind of, I guess, in charge. We own our own businesses. So to then be plonked into this unknown of what
Yeah.
is quite hard too. So we were like, we don't know where we're going. We don't know what we're doing or whatever.
And where did we fly to? Remember, we flew to
We went
Christchurch
to Christchurch.
and we still
then-
didn't know where we were
Oh,
going.
no.
And then they
we
put
hopped
us on a bus
to
across the
Greymouth.
Alps. That was a 5-hour bus?
Yeah.
And then
That was a long bus.
we were
a long bus.
And we were so hungover.
I thought we'd buy some
With
alcohol.
50
and
people that we didn't know. No one else knew.
And there was no food. We were like,
No
thought we were going to
food.
starve to death. It was really the unknown for us prepared people. And we were starving. We'd had no food all day.
No.
It's horrible.
And we
remember
stopped
that
off at that
one
little
shop
place.
in the middle of the Alps. And it was like, all they had to sell was pies.
With red wine and then Summersby's.
Oh,
There was
and
warm
yuck,
cider.
Warm cider.
With red wine. And we were hungover. We're like, just want a nice cold beer. How did we roll? Did we go red wine?
No, we went
No, it's
Summersby's.
Summersby's.
And they were
Warm,
the worst.
sweet,
Terrible.
sickly ciders.
Actually, didn't you get some caramel creams?
Nah.
Mud shakes.
Oh,
nah,
that's
that
right.
was on
Mud
the-
shake?
That was the Stewart Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me and J-Dog went in.
Oh, God.
But then do you remember we got to Greymouth by sunset? So it had been a full 12 hours of travelling,
Yeah.
hungover, and then we got to Greymouth and I'd never been so happy to be anywhere in our lives. We unloaded out of the bus at
Yeah.
dusk and then they
We
had
were
Sweet Mix Kids playing out on
Yeah,
the wharf.
and we had power
we were
That was
dumplings
delicious.
greeted
or
with
whatever they were.
oysters and power and,
So good.
and cold champagne and I was
Yeah.
like, this is the best day of my
And
life.
we're like, okay, we had gone through the band and we were like, oh my God, we need to get out of here. And then we were like, yay! So, yeah, that was suspense.
And then we had the best night at the Greymouth pub,
Spates.
the Spates
Spates.
Ale House.
And wasn't it was in collaboration with The Rock? No,
It was
or the
Harakiri.
Harakiri, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, Radio Harakiri.
And there was all these people. I just remember all these people. It was freezing outside, actually. It was really cold. And we'd go outside and then there'd be people. Remember that chick that just rocked up and she was in her nightie? And she was like, I saw on social that you were down here and I just wanted to come down. And we were like, what?
Yeah, that was
That's
so
right,
good.
just come out of bed or something.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, I just got
out of
here
bed to
so
come
I
and
could
meet
come
you."
and meet you. And
It's
I
Cherie
was,
specifically though, eh?
yeah. And I was like,
That's right.
Cherie, I think, and my whole action mode, marketing mode went in, and I was like, Cherie, you need to get down the South Island. You need to go to all your stockers. You need to go into these towns. You need to do people of the province. You need to meet these people.
Yeah, that was good. We really did enjoy
like-
Greymouth.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm still waiting for the whole go and cook with someone like Dave's mum.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be so fun. I just need to get my farmer boots on and get to the small towns of New Zealand.
Yeah,
That's where I'm wanted, not Wellington.
yeah.
Not cool enough for Wellington.
There's just so much happening in Wellington too. There's just so much. I think the people that really actually present themselves to be supportive is probably, all these really cool small towns that we probably
Yeah,
just
they do.
bypass because
Oh,
we just don't
know.
have a need
Like
to go there. But then when you
Winton-
go there, you're like, man, this is epic.
Winton, epic, so epic.
Yeah,
Just
so
great people, aren't they? Just very chill. Not that Wellingtonians aren't great. They're just
they've just got too much to stimulate them,
maybe.
I think,
Yeah,
There's
you have to
too
just
much
be
going
very
on.
cool and real on trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're cool. We're on trend. Hey, man.
Well,
Sometimes.
we are. We're not really.
Soccer mums.
That's not on trend. That's actually not on brand.
Not at all.
We need a nanny.
Yeah.
Something.
Just a gang nanny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, magazine is where our passion is.
Yeah, cool.
So and it's really cool to collaborate with Cherie and get some stuff going on there, which is really cool.
What's your favourite
you
Pepper
know-
and Me product?
The
Salt of Aotearoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
love
actually
it.
love that one.
I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's
I
so
love
funny
it.
because I just don't often hear that. It's just, I love how
Yeah.
everyone's got such a different
I know.
favourite. I love it.
And because I know that there's still lots of products that are not spicy, but I guess everyone's always like fish oil, because it's like that's there. But like, I know, I get it. I understand. I get it. Because I'm not a spicy girl, you know, like in terms of.
Do you like the poke me?
That's what I said to
Well,
you
that's
before.
what. I don't think I've used it.
Yeah, I'll
To
have
be
to get
honest
you
with
some to
you.
try it.
And TikTok, we use TikTok quite a bit.
Yeah. What's your favourite meal out in the Mount? Or in the Bay, in the Bay of Plenty?
out.
Best meal.
Well, you know, I love Alma. I love going to
do,
Omokoroa.
yeah.
But that's only because for Chris and I, we like going out there. The kids can play. It's super relaxed, and they do have really good food. You know,
They
like I
have
do.
great food.
They do, and you don't go there. I've never gone there and gone, oh, that wasn't great. Like I've always gone there and left going, man, that was a sensational meal. But most recently, though, like that. Madeline's like we obviously doing something in the next issue with her.
Yes.
That little lunch was delicious.
Agree.
Simple, delightful food.
So we went to lunch with the Madeline, her name on Insta is the Madeline Project, and we went to her home, and she's doing this little, is it called supper?
It's called Sunday suppers.
Sunday suppers or
Yeah.
Sunday sessions, something like that, eh?
Yeah.
And she's just picking like 6 random people who are
They
looking
apply.
to, they apply, and
Yeah.
you go to her house and she cooks you lunch, and you make new friends.
Yeah.
I think that's the point of it all, right?
Totally.
Like,
I think the point of
meet
it
new
is just to meet new people and eat good food.
And she's a sensational cook. She's a background of like super yachts and fine foods, and she everything. That was the best focaccia. Oh, and she went beautiful butter, big lump of honeycomb, truffle salt, focaccia, and then that hummus, so smooth with like mild chili oil, and then those beans. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
So good. And then
so
she had
nice.
those, what were those crabs? But they were
Moreton Bay bugs.
Moreton Bay bugs.
Yeah, and you don't see them very
just-
often here.
in half.
In half.
Just grilled.
From Moreton Bay.
Bay.
It's an island just out of Brisbane.
I think she just, did she not get them from the supermarket?
They're from
No.
Faro.
Oh, they're
She
from
does
Faro.
a Faro
Yeah.
online, which is good to know.
So
Yeah, Moreton Bay bug is actually probably a really good affordable
it is.
option
I
to.
looked into it, yeah.
It is
Yeah.
quite meaty. It's kind of in between a prawn and a crayfish, I guess.
Yeah.
But they got a real flat head. They kind
Yeah.
of look like little bulldozers. They're
Yeah.
funny wee things.
Quite flat and then a tail. So
Yeah.
it's kind of, so when you cut it in half, obviously there's still quite a bit of flesh in there.
Yeah, that's so nice.
But yeah, so those were just a few things that I've
that's
enjoyed.
coming up
That's
next
coming up in the next
Yeah,
issue.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's cool because like that's the thing with the magazine is that Chris and I don't go out and hunt out for ideas. They kind of just organically come to us,
Stumble.
which is really cool. And it just means that both Chris and I can sort of, like be passionate about something else rather than just constantly being like absorbed into events because it's real time consuming. The magazine is too, don't get me wrong, it just doesn't happen overnight. But it's sort of, I think, as we're maturing, our passions are maturing into something else, and I think Chris and I are enjoying doing the magazine, still with the events in the background, but we're sort of putting our efforts into that kind of area because we've kind of, like I said, like we've got good staff, they can handle that, and we get to just now do the fun stuff that we want to do.
Epic. It's so good.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you ever need someone to write a wine review,
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, Campbell's been studying his
try and-
wine.
Have
Yeah.
you?
Wine buff.
so just keep me in mind, eh?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Where to next with that then, Cam?
I don't know. It depends on. Actually, we've been talking about going to the Marlborough. Was it Marlborough? The Wine and Food Festival.
Toast.
Toast.
We
Yeah.
went to it
Marlborough.
last year.
We did
It
go.
was wicked.
Yeah,
You'd love it.
They've moved it though. It's
They're
moved
now
to-
doing it in
It's
January.
And that
on a
works
Saturday.
100 times. I am thrilled because I can't go in November this year, so I
Yes.
will be there in January.
Yes.
Can we book that beautiful
Yes, we had a
yoga
beautiful-
lodge?
oh my God,
we
it
went
was
to a
so
yoga
amazing.
retreat.
It was
I was
so
jealous.
nice.
It was
honestly
amazing.
I'm
amazing.
pretty sure you guys were sending me videos, and I was in Vietnam in a bus, like overnight bus, just like. Not
Oh well.
Yeah. And
we
we were like,
we
we
made a
are
few
drinking
mistakes.
wine.
We got absolutely 2 cent.
Well, you probably did.
Well,
the night before.
firstly the night before,
Classic.
secondly the morning of, and then we only made it to 2 wineries.
But the things we did do well is
Get synced.
we hired a minivan in Wellington and we drove over.
Yeah.
And then we hired a young student in Martinborough to drive our van around.
Oh, it was
Full license,
great.
right?
Oh, yeah,
Of course.
100%. So that we didn't have to keep on and going on
Yeah,
and off the
nice.
bus.
And then we did this beautiful big supermarket shop at
in Wellington.
what's that fancy place in Wellington?
Oh, can't remember now.
You know, everyone will know the fancy
supermarket.
place in Wellington.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just cooked all weekend, and I had that
great.
time of my life
I know.
cooking for everyone all
It
weekend.
was awesome. It was great. So we had a personal chef.
Yeah.
We had a driver.
Yeah.
And we had a wine festival to
And then
go
like the
to.
best
Ideal.
accommodation you could ever want.
Honestly, the
Yoga
accommodation
retreat.
was amazing. And it also, we had 4 days, so you could just take it at your own pace.
Yeah, we had a
This was
great
for your
time.
birthday, eh?
Well,
Is
it
that
was
right?
just landed on there, but I wanted to go anyway. And they were they're clients of the magazine, so they
Oh,
came on
cool.
board. Yeah, so the great thing with the magazine is that it's servicing, obviously local stories, but we're able to collaborate with lots of people out of
Out of the
Tauranga.
region. Because you also
Yeah.
have quite a good website as well, where you document
Yeah.
a lot of the blogs.
Yeah, and Chris, that's on his project to-do list, is to kind of
Keep on that.
invigorate that,
So
you know.
that's our place, or is it
Our Place magazine.
magazine.co.nz?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's where you'll
Yeah.
find the dining guide as well.
Yeah.
If everyone's asking me, where do we come
I
and go for
know.
dinner? The dining guide is
It's great.
ourplace.co.nz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And so, yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right.
I think we'll probably.
We better wind up because I've got to go collect the robot from the
yeah.
disco. And then I've got to go and buy a new acrobat costume
For the next.
for the next disco at 5:30 p.m. And then I have to stay on
Maybe
the
you
side
should
of
just
town.
have a podcast with your kids and you ask them
I should-
about
no, I had-
school pickups.
I think, do you know what we're going to do? Is just do something new. We have to wait till football's finished, but I reckon Pippa can start the porridge stall at the little big markets.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's something she can do. We'll make a big pot of porridge and we'll have
Yeah.
all the toppings.
all
We'll
the
do
toppings.
raspberry
Need a protein porridge
compotes. No protein.
It's all about the games.
No vegan. No dairy free.
cream.
You're getting cream. You're getting caramel. You're getting brown sugar melt into a little puddle in the
You're getting
middle.
butter.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's un-PC porridge. That's what it's called.
PC.
Yeah.
Non-vegan.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
Thank you,
no,
Rachelle.
thank
Thanks for
you.
coming on. Great to have you.
Thank
Check out
you.
Our Place and check out Cherie's next article in Our Place as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
And also any event,
Any events, all the events.
all the events.
Masariki's next.
Little Big Market.
Probably won't be launched after that, but
Thank you.
Awesome.
Right, have a good week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the products that we're talking about, you'll find us at pepperandme.co.nz.